Hello, Jaguar Nation, and welcome to the 2019-2020 school year. This video will be going over the student handbook, policies, procedures, so you're familiar with things and know what's what to have a wonderful school year. The full version of our handbook can be found at this website right here. It is on the Jefferson main page under Student Resources. The presentation today will highlight some information found in the handbook, but please know that students are responsible for knowing and abiding by all school rules and policies as outlined in that handbook. So here is our administrative team. We have Mr. Anderson, our principal, Mr. Hall, assistant principal, last names A through L. Ms. Jarvis, that's me, assistant principal with students' last names M through Z. Mr. Musil, our dean of students with students' last names A through Z, so that's everyone. And Mr. Nyberg, our activities and athletics director. We are all here to help you, so even if your last name isn't maybe A through L, but you need to see me, that's fine. We're all here to help you have a successful school year. This is our counseling staff. If you're not sure what to do and you need help with the situation, this is a wonderful place to start. The counseling office is located next to the main office in the first main hallway of the building. Ms. Miller has students with last names A through F. Ms. Erickson, students with last names G through L. Ms. Everett, students with last names M through RE. And Ms. Kretzmeyer, students with last names RF through Z. Ms. Wallerick is our PGP and career and college counselor, so if you need any assistance with those things, she is the person to help you. And Ms. Riley and Ms. Sheff are our counseling secretaries and there to assist you with whatever you might need. Services provided by our counselors include college prep, academic planning, social emotional support, mediation. If you just need someone to talk to, these people are here for you. This is our behavior intervention team. We have Mr. Musil, our Dean of Students, Ms. Wetzel, our social worker, and Q, our student advocate. You will see these people out and about in the halls all the time. They are there to help and support you. You have questions, you need some assistance. These are also some of your go-to people. We're going to launch right into some of the policies in the handbook. First one we're going to outline is our academic integrity policy, otherwise known as a cheating policy. So cheating would be anytime you turn in work that is not your own, that it did not originate with you, and pass it off as though it is yours. So examples of cheating include plagiarism, having an electronic device out without permission during an assessment. So let's say you're taking a test and your phone is on your desk. That could be a cheating violation just for having your phone out. So make sure that is put away during any kinds of assessments. Receiving answers from another student, any action that compromises test security. Something to definitely be aware of is we've had instances in the past where someone shares some work via Google Docs with another person. And that second person takes that paper or that project and turns it in as their own, but the first person didn't intend for that person to use their work to cheat. So be very careful when you share things electronically, because it can be very easy just to remove one name and put another one on there. So be smart about your work and make sure you're always getting credit for the good work you do and keeping that work turned in just for you. Cell phones, electronic devices, and social media. Remember, if you bring your phone to school, you do so at your own risk. The school is not responsible for lost, stolen, or damaged cell phones. Please always keep your phone on silence. If your classroom is a no cell phone classroom, which most of our classrooms are, you need to keep your phone out of sight for the entire hour. Having your cell phone out during testing or in the testing center could be grounds for an immediate cheating violation, like we talked about on the other slide. Please use social media wisely. Anything that causes a disruption to the learning environment is an issue. So even if you do something outside of school, but it affects school here, it affects the learning environment, you could be facing disciplinary action for that. So make sure that things you put on social media are respectful. Remember, anything you put out there is out there forever, whether you think it's deleted or not. And a lot of colleges, jobs, people will check your digital profile. So be smart about what you're putting out there. We do not tolerate bullying in any form here at Jefferson High School. If you do see any bullying happening or it is happening to you, please notify a teacher, counselor, administrator, another trusted adult immediately. We don't tolerate that here. We want to be sure all of our students have a safe and respectful school environment. Anytime you come into the building, you could be subject to search, so please just be aware of that. Search would include your person, backpack, bags, wallets, purses, cars, mobile phone, and lockers. So when you come to school, make sure that you don't have anything that you shouldn't have on you, as the school does have the right to search your belongings if there is a suspicion of something. When you are out and about in the hall, you should always have a hall pass. So you're expected to be in class at all times. And if you are out in the hall, you do need to have a pass. Each classroom has a pass, and students must abide by the classroom rules when utilizing that pass. Only one student is allowed out of class at a time. If you're found in the hallway without a pass, you may be subject to a lunch detention. If you will not be in class one day, make sure that a parent calls the attendance line to excuse you. If you are found in the hallway after the final bell is rung, you may be subject to a lunch detention, again, only leaving class with that pass. If you miss 7 or more class periods due to an unexcused absence, which could be a combination of absences or tardies, you could lose credit for that course. So make sure you are in class, make sure you come to class on time every day. If you need to leave school early, like let's say you become sick during the day, you should see the nurse before you go. Your teacher can write you a pass to the nurse. After talking with you, the nurse will call your parent or guardian, and then if you are going to leave, she will dismiss you through the nurse's office, taking care of your attendance. If you are leaving early for another reason, or you're not going to be in school that day at all, your parent or guardian should call our 24-hour attendance message line. It's always best if people can call in advance. We will get you a pass. A pass will be sent to your classroom prior to the requested leaving time, and you must sign out of attendance before leaving. But the sooner we know, the sooner we can get that pass prepared for you to make your departure. Should you need to change anything on your schedule, you can do so for one of the following reasons. Credit for the course was earned during summer school. You don't have the prerequisite for the course you're in. The course is an inappropriate academic level, or an error was made by the scheduling office. Those would be the reasons you could possibly change your schedule. If you do need to change it, your schedule change request must be made by filling out a form in the counseling office by the second day of the trimester. So that would be Wednesday, September 4th. After that, we're not able to make schedule changes, and any course drops after that deadline will result in an F on the transcript. If you're just not sure about your schedule and what to do, definitely go to the counseling office and see your counselor. We have wonderful, beautiful flex spaces here at Jefferson. Remember, when you're in these spaces, you are to use them wisely. You're to use them to study, work on group projects, collaborate, and to learn. You need to have an academic purpose when in the flex space. Once in a while, if you're working in there on your own, you might be asked to relocate. If a class has that area checked out, you'll just be reassigned to another part of flex space. Your teacher will always direct you on what you should be doing when you're there. And you need to make sure, please, that you're using these areas as intended. Otherwise, you could lose those privileges. And keep in mind, you always go to class first. Check in with your teacher. If your teacher says it's okay to flex out, then you don't flex out first and then check in with your teacher later. Unless your teacher says something like, I won't be here tomorrow, you have a sub, you'll be in the flex space. Otherwise, always head to class first. If you have a hybrid or an online class, again, you're supposed to use that time wisely, monitoring your own deadlines and expectations. If you do have this class, you may leave the building. Students who wish to do so must first complete the parent permission form found in the attendance office. If you leave and return to school early, you will be held in the front entrance until passing time. If you leave and return late, you may be subject to discipline, including a search. If you're staying at Jefferson to work, you are supposed to be in the cafeteria. And you will need to sign in at your appropriate location for attendance. Our lunchroom is awesome. It's new as of last year. Make sure that you're always eating lunch in the lunchroom only. There's no lunch in Flag Hall, Flex Hall, Deck Hall, etc. If you're choosing not to eat lunch, you may be in the Media Center, not Flag or Flex Hall. If you're late to class or there's another minor disciplinary infraction, you could be assigned a lunch detention. If that's the case, you'll report to the lunch resource room, which is off of the main gym at the start of your lunch period. If you arrive to detention late, you'll need to serve the remainder of your time that day and serve a full lunch detention the following day. We don't have any after-school detention here at Jefferson. There might be a time where you miss a test in class or have to use the testing center for another reason. You must have a prior appointment to take your exam during the school day. Your classroom teacher will help to arrange that. If you miss your appointment, you will have the opportunity to test after school, or you can make a new appointment with your classroom teacher. And new this year, tests will be held in the testing center for 1 week. After 1 week, tests will be returned to the teacher and may result in a 0 on the exam. So just keep in mind, from the day of your appointment, or from the day the test was given, you have 1 week to finish up that test in the testing center. Just to outline a few behavior violations that could result in a suspension here at school: possession or being under the influence of any chemicals or alcohol, distribution, sharing, giving away, selling, or intent to sell of any chemicals or alcohol, e-cigarette, tobacco, or related items, possession or use will result in a suspension, as will fighting and assaults from school. You can view the rubric here on the Jefferson webpage. It outlines different disciplinary infractions and the consequences. These are a few just for you to see. New to the handbook this year, like Mr. Anderson said at the Pep Fest, you can wear your hat or hood in the hallway. Each teacher will decide the rules for their own classroom, and you are expected to follow the policies outlined by that teacher. If you do violate those policies, it could result in removal from class, lunch detention, pause, etc. Also new this year is bystander behavior, which is being in an area where known school violations are occurring and not leaving the area or seeking assistance from school staff. This also includes taking videos or photos of any violations. Bystanders may meet with administration and have consequences assigned. So if something's going on and you see it and it shouldn't be, the expectation is that you find an adult in the building to help remedy the situation immediately. Jefferson After Hours takes place after school until 3:30 Monday through Thursday. It will start next week, and new this year it is in Blue Flex. This is staffed by a teacher every single day, and sometimes by some of our National Honor Society tutors. It's a great place to just drop in and get help after school, either from a teacher or from a tutor. You can stay the whole time. You can stay for 20 minutes. It's open every single day. Great place to get some homework done. School ends at 2:37 on a regular day and 2:14 on a block day. For about 1 hour, the Media Center Commons and Jefferson After Hours are accessible for all students. After that time, Monday through Thursday, the building will close at 3:30, and all students who are in the building will need to wait by the front entrance. On Fridays, the building closes at 2:50, so students should plan accordingly with your schedule. If you stay later than any of these times, you must be supervised by an adult through a school activity. So again, if you need some help, you're not sure where to go, what to do, always start with your counselor. Again, that counseling office is located next to the main office across from the auditorium. All right, Jags, have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to check out the handbook online and come see any of us if we can be helpful to you. Have a great day and a wonderful year.